Master Lubor says Drake's fang has fallen.
Wasn't sure how much you'd need, but I hope this is enough.
You are one of the good ones, you know that? You and that merchant both, she's got quite a gift for teaching that one. Now, time to see if limestone is the secret weapon we were hoping for. A knife forged from the very rock.
It's a fine look. That sounds like...
I'm sorry, Forge Master Lubor.
Let's take a look then, shall we? First things first, Sava, do you think this is a carving knife worthy of the fine people of Dalamil?
I'd like to think so. But what do you think?
What do I think indeed? It's sharp-ish, but it won't last long with hard use. And it's heavy, heavier than it should be. You might not think it just to hold it for a moment, but sell that to a cook and you'll never hear the end of it. It looks like someone paid a visit to the terraces. The limestone was a step in the right direction, granted, but one that still leaves you short of the mark.
And I was so certain I had it all worked out.
I don't know who you found to teach you that little trick, but it certainly shows initiative. Next question. How much do you think I would charge if I'd made this?
Well, if it took you even a fraction of the time it took me, I would say you could demand a heavy purse.
And who would be able to pay that? The butcher? The hunter? The cooks over at the inn? Dalamil is home to humble traders, not wealthy lords and ladies. Rule number 1 in any business, Sava: know your customers.
Yes, Forge Master.
This is just about passable. But only just. I'd say you're worth keeping around a little longer. Starting tomorrow, you'll have an anvil of your own.
I will. Thank you. I was wondering, what would you do if you were asked to forge a carving knife?
I'd do what I always do. Ask who it's for. If it was for the butcher, I'd make sure it holds an edge. For the hunter, I'd make it as tough as Titan. For the cook, light as a feather. And for the nobleman, I'd make it cost an absolute fortune.
There goes a master, all right.
It looks like congratulations are in order.
I couldn't have done it without you. So much for the Forge Master, spirit me.
You've...
Master Lubor says Drake's fang has fallen.
The finest fabric!
Take a sniff, good sir.
Kneaded to a silken softness.
Oh, well done.
Weights and butts! There he is. The man who... I was hoping we'd be seeing you. The barb...
I'm glad.
Now...
No,
That's not...
seen troops amassing at every border crossing.
Clive, you're back.
I am. And with glad tidings for once. Hugo Kupka is no more.
Well, I'll be. All of...
What?
Welcome.
Yes.
I feel it. Which means...
Wouldn't Otto? Any here?
Shouldn't you...
Thank you.
Ah, the conquering hero returns. And with hardly a scratch on him.
I may have picked up one or two.
Well, the fact that you came straight to me instead of visiting our resident physiker suggests that you picked up something more important. A scent. The scent of...
The very... But whatever Nurse did is orcs. The Waloed... Why work to rest? It makes no sense.
Do you know that one must instead... The kingdom of Waloed claims dominion over all of Ash. It is a nation forged by the bloody conquest of Barnabas Tharm, the dominant of Odin. The Canvarian War of Independence in 849. The Battle of the Twin Realms in 865. The Battle of Belinus Tor in 873. Wheresoever his armies fought, Odin was found where the fighting was fiercest. But of late, the warrior king appears to have laid his sword to rest. Battle rages for control of the crystalline dominion. Yet Tharm sends not a single ship in support of his Dhalmekian allies. Meanwhile, the Blight ravages great swathes of Ash. Yet warlike Waloed shows not the faintest interest in laying claim to untouched lands. So why go to the trouble of sending an army of orcs into the heart of Drake's Fang, only to make no attempt to claim the Mother Crystal for Waloed? It can hardly be for lack of men. Tharm's armies rival any in the Twins. No. We have not seen the last of the Waloed Standard. Odin will ride again. It is but a question of when. And on that day, who will be trampled underfoot? In summary, I know not to what end the Royalist betrayed Kupka. I know only that it is part of some broader scheme. A scheme tied to the ambitions of one man.
King Barnabas.
But there is no need to wallow in confusion. If one is to cure a sickness, one must first identify the symptoms. And your Lord Uncle has volunteered to do just that by keeping an eye on the Royalists' movements.
He's really throwing himself into this.
Indeed he is. Which means all that remains for us to do is await his reports. Well, not quite all in your case. The people of the Hideaway must hear the news. Justice has been done. Hugo Kupka is dead. The wounds he left that night are still raw. Especially for those who lived with Sid the longest. Tell them that those wounds might finally begin to heal. Consider it the price of today's instruction.
I've never known you to be sentimental.
What can I say? I am only human. And we are, all of us, sentimental animals at heart.
I suppose we are. Very well. I'll go and spread the word.
You're seeing troops amassing at every border crossing.
Well, someone looks pleased with himself.
Nothing escapes you, Lady Karen. It's true. Kupka is dead.
No more looking over our shoulders, then. Good. I'm starting to get a crick in my neck. Don't let it go to your head, though. Is it business or pleasure? Go on, then. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. Is that all?
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
What is it? I'm busy.
I wanted to tell you that Hugo Kupka is dead.
I can't tell you how long I've been waiting to hear those words. This is it then. A new beginning under a new Cid.
I'll try to live up to the name.
Ah, Clive. Have you come seeking the gift of knowledge?
No. To share mine, actually. Hugo Kupka is dead.
Oh, my. Can it really be true?
Look, he's crying. He is. The big baby.
And with good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents that the heavens might weep with us. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your things.
All right. Brilliant.
Finally, a new dawn has broken.
It has.
Thank you, Clive. I cannot wait to share the good news.
Hippocrates. After Kupka fell, Ultima came to me. I need to know what he is. Have you learned anything?
Alas, no. And not for want of trying. I have scoured nigh every historical tome in our collection and found nothing. Not even the sort of conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment of fact. One is almost tempted to conclude that such a creature never existed.
But I saw him. With my own eyes.
I don't doubt that you did. Alas, it seems you are the only one who has. To others, he reveals naught. We see only that which he leaves in his wake, like some terrible force of nature beyond the ken of mortal man.
A bringer of death.
Whether the Ultima you met with was the being itself, or merely another projection of its power, I know not. But until I do, my investigations shall continue.
Thank you. It means a lot. Right. Let's see if Otto has anything else for me.
Ah, Clive. A moment, if I may. You'll be pleased to hear that I've completed another volume. And while my collection is still far from becoming the 1,000 tomes that young Crow has quaintly dubbed it, I hope the knowledge chronicled within might yet be of some benefit to the Hideaway. Of course, I would not have penned half as many volumes without the tales you and the others bring back from your travels, for which generosity I shall be forever grateful. Look around you. Still, why? May the winds of fortune carry you far.
I'm telling you, it's true. I heard it from Otto.
We're seeing troops amassing at every border crossing.
You barely sat down since you came home. Vivian got you running errands or something? Just spreading the word. So, the Professor's got a soft side, has she? I'd never have guessed. No. She was right, though. Everyone was glad to hear the news. Ah, but you ain't told everyone. I can think of plenty of friends back at the old hideaway who'd sleep more peacefully for knowing. Not least of all Sid. You should tell him. You're right. I should. And I will. Well, when you do, be sure to take Mid with you. She's been going at it hammer and tongs down in that workshop of hers, trying to do her father proud. I can't remember the last time she visited the old sod's grave. Very well. I'll suggest it.
like the crystal too.
I went up to give some greens to the... Rockabo. And do you know what it did?
It hasn't been.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in. Why would anyone want to do that?
Think Mid might need some help.
If I don't come up with something soon. All right, Clive? What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal...
Displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. The Enterprise. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. Oh, come. Good. The stack will be made up. There's the and.
Full probably.
Then I've got Joe.
Well, I can't make head nor tail of...
Luckily, you.
You look just like a princess.
Let me know if you find any books worth looking.
Blackthorn, can I ask a favor?
Out with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. And spare myself the arseache. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Krieger's Tates. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy, though. And I'll need help. Get Gavinotto in here, will you?
All right.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, hasn't she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get to...
And...
It's like, it's this plate that means, which... Yeah, that's what...
And...
Right,